tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wild. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store with the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'ma sign my name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Good afternoon, good day, good evening. It is What Up Wednesday, and I'm Keely Dunn, and I'm off center. What is happening? What is happening? I don't know. Hi. I was preparing for this show right up until literally the moment I hit live, and I wasn't even sure if I was going live to the right place. I was just like, I just gotta press this button and hope. Sometimes you just have to go on a flyer and feel good about it. So I hope you're ready for a fun show today. I'm doing this thing where I'm not going to proclaim this is going to be a shorter show. And I'm going to see if the reverse psychology actually works. So today we have a few topics that I've kind of kept pushing off because I had other questions coming. And you know, when the clips come in and it's a current game, I think, yeah, I really want to address this right away. So these have been sort of mounting up, stacking up for the last few weeks, and we're going to get to them. Carding captains for the late return of your teams. We're going to talk about that. What you do with a goalkeeper who is wasting time, and how do you handle their suspension? And we are absolutely going to get to this one. We are absolutely talking about whether the handle is legal for play. I put it on the thumbnail and everything. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. I'm going to say hi to everybody in a second, but I wanted to get to some flowers and some announcements. First of all, Mr. Simon Webb, FHU 3T Green member, MPUA A panel. Congratulations, Simon. I'm so excited for you. You've been doing work in Belgium and back home, and it's just really great to see all of the progress you've made. You are one of those people. So Simon, if you don't know, he does a lot of photography, and I've been featuring some of his stuff on the appointments for Pro League and such like that. So he had the opportunity to take some good shots of umpires lately, and man, they are so good. So yep, I'm plastering those up and hopefully remembering to credit him properly. If you ever see me miss something, let me know. But there you go, Simon Webb, congratulations for that. And sorry, also is a podcast contributor on Talk Hockey Radio. So, and he probably does a whole bunch of other things I don't know about. I mean, it's likely, right? There you go. Okay, next one. Mike Mack. Looking good in that green MPUA shirt, Mike. How did that happen? He's hit his level 2A panel West. I'm very pleased with that. And if you're wondering what this is all about, you just have to come be a member of the server and hear all the back chatter about how all this kind of stuff rolls about. And the last congratulations, Mr. Sam Church, yellow member, MPUA A panel. I'm seeing young umpires achieve these big ranks is just such a nice thing. So, well done to you, sir. I salute you and your achievements. One of my favorite things. And tomorrow we have none other than, I was doing this. Does it look like I just made this? Yeah, I have some thumbnail work to do. Rob Tencat is coming on tomorrow. Let's see, I could probably make this a little bit smaller so it's not like on my face. Rob Tencat is going to come visit with me tomorrow on Umpire at Home, and we are going to talk about the results of that really interesting aerial quiz we did a few weeks ago. Maybe one of the mods can find the link to that and put it in the chat, because you're not going to go look at it now, but it's probably a really good video to watch after you watch this live stream. And go through and do the quiz and see, because it was very much, Rob's going to tell us about what he learned in terms of an information gathering exercise and what the discussion was like in Dutch. So he's gonna replay all that in his mind tomorrow. It's going to be great. So please join in. It'll be the same time as this. Whatever time it is right now for you, just come back tomorrow. It'd be great to have you. Okay. If you were wondering what all the FHU 3T stuff was going on, it's this. It's this right here. And I would love, and really appreciate your support. FHU 3T Green is $7 a month, and you get access to the clip library. Yellow, you get access to a really wide range of mentorship activities, which I'd like to say maybe, I'm not saying it made those guys promotions, but maybe it had something to do with it. Just a nice add-on. And I think for me, it's knowing that I can help umpires move on their progression ladder faster and with a lot less frustration than people like, I had during my career, where I felt really isolated and alone. And I just wanted to pull this up. Oops, sorry. It's so big because, again, last minute. But I got this really nice message from Hamish. He has to go for dinner soon, so I'll bring it up right away. But really nice private message from the Discord, and he gave me permission to say it. But here it is, badged on the 5th of March, 3 weeks later, after 2 weekends of umpiring in the East League 2 and 3 low leagues in Scotland. He's been asked to do junior national practice games and bloody top 3 regional league games. Oh my God. 3rd highest in Scotland in the league playing in. Couldn't have done this without you in the server. And this is what community brings you. So if you want to ask me some questions about the 3rd team, and boy, I do need to figure out how I can. Here, I'll just do this. If you want to ask some questions about the 3rd team, you can ask right now in the comments. They're over here for me, but ask in the live chat. It's probably here. It's probably like here for you. There's lots of people who are in the 3rd team there that you can talk to, or you can pop into the Discord. This is where we do our mentoring. We do a lot of work, and even if you're not a member of the formal member of the FHU 3T, if you come in and hang out in the server, you're kind of one of mine anyway. I'm not mad. So FHumpires.com/Discord. That's where we do all the fun things. And I love the community in there. It's awesome. Let's see. I'm going to say hi now. Oh my God, Sam Church. It's like you knew I was going to talk about you and you showed up. You also beat Rachel. I don't see her. Why is Rachel not on my screen? Okay, we're going to find out. Where is Rachel? Paul, great. Sunny Cornwall. I love it when you brag about your weather down there. You're in the middle of cooking. Okay, no problem. I appreciate you saying hi, though. Stain's here from Belgium. Good to have you. Joop is here from the Netherlands, from Kiwiland, from New Zealand, the place soon to be my home. I'm just kidding. I mean, we dream, right? We all dream. Andrew is here. Kia ora. Good to see you, friend. Ryan, you're finally here. Oh, but this is not the news that we want to see. That your whole family has COVID. I'm really sorry to hear this. Really, really sorry to hear this. For those of you in the chats who have had COVID, it's no fun. It's no fun. And even if you don't have any big symptoms, it's weird. It stays with you. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. John Williams, sir, I'm declaring you new. Maybe I'm wrong, but welcome. I'm glad you're here. Urian's here, of course. Yellow team member, Godders. You're on holiday at Trevose. Do you say it Trevose or do you say it Trevose? I bet it's not Trevose. I bet that's a Canadian way of saying it. There you go. There you go. There's the congratulations coming in. And Paul would be happy to recruit Godders for some matches, of course. Hello, sir. No more Bucks hockey so you can make a full session. Cherry sour. Nice. I am not a beer or lager person whatsoever, but I have had a sour and I was like, well, this isn't so bad. So there you go. And cheers. Mike Mack is here, of course. And our friend Crispy Godders, yes, got other plans. Oh, he's going back. Okay, there you go. Okay. East Side. Okay, so David, lean in. Okay. Most of these people they're from the UK and like Netherlands and I'm not sure what East Side means when you have a global audience, but it's cute anyway. I'm not mad. All right, this is what I'm really excited about because although I'm a little sad because I know all of the UK folk are wrapping up their seasons now, the fact that a whole other hemisphere of people are getting ready to go. People like Ryan and Shane Mackney, he might be in the chat, Andrew, all the Aussies that are in the crew. You're just getting started, and that is really exciting. So I am looking forward to hearing all the reports of how things go in your opening matches of the season. And I'm really glad you're here because, as Ryan is pointing out, just doing a little bit of mental work, getting engaged in the conversation, giving some input, thinking about things, wondering why I'm so mad all the time. This can really help you move along in your season. So I'm glad you're here. You're doing the right thing. Mike Vince, Yale team members here. Fantastic. There we go. And let's see, Mr. Denman. Hello. Congrats, Simon. Wait, what did I miss? Did I say Simon? What did I say? What happened with Simon? Huh? I know it's Simon Mason's birthday today. What did I miss? Okay, somebody figure this out for me. The best Photoshop ever, indeed. There you go. Oh, there you go. Wait. I'm just gonna, no, it's fine. Stefan, thank you very much. Is Mike Mack on your body? Why did you have to say it like that? It was funny and now it's creepy.
How you like that?
Crispy, you wrecked it. Simon Webb, jeez, like what? Why does my brain break? If somebody could come and fix this for me, that would be great. By the way, COVID. It does look like it. Aldi fake, I don't know what this is, but it's most excellent. Okay, there you go. Yeah, this is fantastic. My Scottish accent needs work. That must be somebody else because I have a fantastic Scottish accent when I want it. I didn't try it though. There you go. Third team, best team. Bat signal. I mean, sorry. I'm really bad at that. It hurts. Okay. Yeah, no photos of Mike Mack umpiring. It's ridiculous. I'm so mad. Okay. Oh, I forgot something. Because he's here. Hang. I'm never mad at you. There you go. And there's another congratulations. And here, Taco, can I please just say, I need to remember to press all my buttons. Sir, thank you so much for the rosés last week. If you're wondering, this stream is fueled by rosé. Taco understands the importance of this to my creative process and decided that I was running a little low last week and stocked me up. Taco, thank you so much. Okay. I have to abbreviate that because it does really go on kind of long. There you go. Let's go. I missed the first half dozen messages, including Rachel. My goodness. Oh, I wonder what happened. I wonder if... You know what? Let's just give you guys full credit. Thank you so much for coming early. And I'm really sorry that the comments went... YouTube's been really weird this week. I've heard lots of creators not happy about things not quite working in the old YouTube land. So that might be related, might not. Mr. Addison, good to see you. I understand that you're part of a big upgrade, which I'll announce next week. There you go. You'll start a give a little page to get me over here. Oh my God, that would be so great. No, don't do that, because then I have to give all the money back if I can't get over there. Like, what if your borders are closed and stuff? Thank you. Merlot for Rachel. Good. Mark Davidson's here. Hi. Hot minute. Been a while. There you go. East side of the UK. East side, says Mr. Denman. Yes, indeed. See, okay, there's a lot of Easterners. No. West is best. West is best. Ryan, you don't have it, but it's the worst time when you're supposed to be umpiring and playing in a preseason tournament. Is that the worst possible time? What if you were in your finals? What if you'd been appointed to the gold medal final of the highest league or competition you've ever umpired in, and you had to miss that? I have a feeling that would be even worse. Aline's here. Holy smokes. So many people. Marty Beck. Welcome. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Stefan. Yes, you are absolutely south side. There you go. Let's get it started. Ha! Okay. All there. Adrian Botha. Good to see you. Oh, yes. I am. Okay. Okay, a little conversation on the side there. I've almost caught up. Yes, last weekend you don't have an appointment. Sads. How about you just park that for like a day and somebody will be in touch with you, I'm sure. Somebody will need to drop out. Something will happen. There you go. And it's going to be chilly. It's either, apparently a lot of people suffered heat stroke last week because it was 18 degrees in Scotland. I heard that. I thought that was very funny. Oh my God, you guys. If it's not 12 degrees, y'all are unhappy. It's just chaos. Okay, let's move into the content. As a refresher, we're doing this stuff. Okay, and I'm looking forward to hearing your input on these topics because, as always, this is a collaborative effort, friends. And then I lower the hammer. I'm just kidding. Let's go. Carding captains for returning to the pitch late. Yes, my friends. Somebody was working on fancy graphics when she should have been actually just prepping the basics. There you go. Good to see you, Mats. Fantastic. The border's open in a couple months. Okay, good. But may the page... it might only be one There you go. Thank you. I'm very proud of my shiny new graphics. Guess who's learning Final Cut Pro? That would be me. Okay, so this was a question that I had come in on YouTube, and I noticed the same week that this came in, there was also a comment that came through on Facebook where someone had a similar question. And where are my overlays? And both of them revolved around when teams weren't returning to the pitch on time after halftime breaks. So it was very, it's apparent to me that this has been happening to a few people. I'm still looking for my overlays, so let me bring this up. Oh, there it is. Okay. So that was the request from Casper, and then this one came up on Facebook. Has anyone had issues starting a game or restarting after halftime, and is there anything we can do? I recently had to blow my whistle for 2 minutes, and teams take 10, probably slight over exaggeration, but it's definitely like 7 minutes. To be fair, it's pretty important to know before you start how long your breaks are supposed to be. They could actually be 10 minutes in your league or competition. So make sure you understand that before you start laying down the law. Okay. And then there was dawdling, and then they did a team talk in the middle of the pitch and did the sticks and thing and blah, blah, blah. What can I do other than blow my whistle louder and louder? It's been a bit of a reoccurrence. What my brain wants to do is just start the game. It's really become a pet peeve of yours. And to me, I think there's probably some options here, but I'd love to hear from you all. So please do spit out some recommendations for me, some thoughts. And while you do that, I'm just going to catch up and make sure that I really feel the full import of Stain's calamities here, because this is awful. You were doing your national exam and you twisted your knee, pulled ligaments. Oh, and then you contracted COVID. Well, I'm glad you have ligaments to pull. I still have my M's and L's and maybe my PCL, but I don't have ACLs anymore. So I've never really thought about how that's a big loss. You know, there you go. You have it so... Oh!
Drop!
That was harsh, but fair. Yeah. Yes. Excellent Scottish umpire and FIH. He gets broken a lot. A lot. It's just a regular occurrence to him. Okay. So I found this interesting because both in this question and then what Casper asked, it seems like cards just sort of come up right away as options, and they're absolutely options. But as with so many things that have to do with not really disadvantaging one team or another or committing a foul and things like that, that prevention to me can be the most powerful, or proactivity can be the most powerful tool that you have. Let's see what y'all have here. Start the game. You can, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of that approach because I feel like it is what I would call gotcha umpiring, and it depends on what you've done coming up beforehand. Now, in the FIH, in the lead up to, not Rio, the lead up to London, I remember they were doing a test series as a preparation at Lee Valley, and they had, you know, I remember it was Germany, but I can't remember who they were playing. And it was just a test match. And Germany was late coming back after the break. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Or maybe it was World Cup. Oh, memory, since I can't remember Simon Webb. Anyway. And the umpires had been instructed, and the teams had been made aware that time was just going to start, because as a broadcasted event on a major stage, they needed to make sure that things fit the timelines because the broadcast would be ready to go. Of course, what that does is it really looks unprofessional when you're starting the match and one of the teams is just sort of running out there in a panic and isn't ready. So the idea, I think, was to do that in a setting where it didn't matter for a result and not many people were watching, so it wouldn't happen on the biggest stage. I still think it was a bad look and kind of a bad event. And since then, that sort of procedure has been written into the tournament regulations. So you'll see at the FIH Pro League and that sort of thing that the time will be started. And off it goes. Now, the problem is if you start time, but the team that has the center pass is not the team that is ready to go, or what if both teams aren't there? What do you do? Yop, at the start of the game, you signal 2 minutes left. Very, very important when they still have 4 to 5 minutes left. Now we're cooking with Pam, friends. Do you guys all have Pam? Did you have Pam? I don't know. If you signal 2 minutes before the game, you're going to start late. Absolutely. At the start of the match, that's probably the only time I'll mention to captains. 2 minutes to start means 2 minutes. Halftime, just whistle early and get into position. That's good stuff as well. Switch the center pass to the other team. Nope. That is not a remedy that you can employ. Okay? Unless, like, you would need to have the game started in order to flip that. I really, really don't like it. You fell through a floor yesterday. Oh my God. Let me know how you're doing. Send me a note in the Discord. Evison, good to see you. You get question number 2. It's great to have you. During a 2-minute break, you whistle after 1:30 or something. Yes. So in an indoor break at the quarter, or outdoor break at the quarter, an indoor, I think it's just, is it just a minute? Oh my God. I think they might get 2 minutes and then they get 5 at half. Anyway, yeah, I give them a minute 15 for a 2-minute break, and then I'm blowing to let them know that they only have 30 seconds left, even though they have 45, right? So that technique that Yop is talking about. So you know that time when you're on a team where there was that one player who was always late? Always late for warm-up, always late for the carpool setting off for the game, always late for the first round of drinks, and you gave them a different time than you gave everybody else. It was easier to do when things weren't all digital. We had what was called the Helen rule, because Helen Kubak, now Sidran, on the dynos was always 50 minutes late. So we had Helen time, and that was the time that was announced to everybody. And then everybody but Helen knew that the actual time was 50 minutes later, and she started being on time, and she would show up and go, oh, you know, she's like, oh, I'm not late. She knew, she was aware of her habit, but she was not cognizant of the impact it had on other people. So that kind of cured her of her lateness anyway. But that kind of trick is really, really helpful. Godders, if no match official agrees, start time and break times pre-match with captains. If they don't comply, have a word with them, and still no compliance, card would be appropriate. And yes, so I think what I want to draw out of this discussion is how important it is to be proactive. And that includes doing things like, let's say the match before you went overtime. And that happens all the time in my local competition. I will, at the coin toss, say to the teams, look, we're getting right into this game. I want to give you the most playing time possible. So we're going to cut down halftime. Just make sure you're ready. We're going to go out and play right now. So let's go. Are you in? And you get them to agree. Because you're doing this for them. Because like many jurisdictions, I'm sure a lot of you know or are in that situation where you're your time blocks for each match are very specific and they're stacked right up. You don't have the luxury of big warm-up times on the pitch and all that sort of thing. So use that as your leverage with the players to say, you paid to be here. Don't wait until there's somewhat of a result starting to form in the game and where it benefits one team or another to start delaying, because that's where you really get into problems. Okay? Proactivity right off the hopper. Right off the hopper, to me, is the most important skill. Technique. GB was late. Okay, there you go. So I sort of remembered some of it, but it was GB in Germany, right? And Barry, we're going to talk about carding goalkeepers later, but yeah, I'm just going to save it for that. Allow me to star your comment. Interesting. See, I don't like what that does with the temper of the game, right? So if you have match officials like Goddard's mentioned, it's the match official's job to get the teams onto the pitch. They should be the ones hounding and being like, all right, let's go. It's been 4 minutes, even if it's only been 3, and getting the teams to come back. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to point out with Casper's comment here, if I can do this properly, is that he mentioned, what if when it's especially very cold, one team at halftime stays in the locker room way too long, would you card the captain? If you've got a match situation where weather is terrible, inclement, dangerous, something like that, again, you have the ability to be proactive about this. Let me tell you about playing in cold weather and bad weather conditions. It sucks, and you have to be cognizant of these things before you start the match. Hey, captains, do you think you're going to need more time? Can we give you more time at halftime? No, our pitch booking is solid. We don't have access. Sorry, you can't stay in there. Unless the two teams agree right now, before the game has started, that you're going to use less playing time and more time to be warm in the clubhouse. Okay, you have to get the agreement beforehand, and you get their buy-in, and then you have something to enforce later. Okay, you don't want it to be any form of surprise. And no, it's not a surprise. They know when the game's supposed to start, but the fact that they are aware of it and it's in their head, they are going to behave differently with their team. They are going to get the team ready to go. And if they're not, then you know it's intentional, and you can then card them for that misconduct. Okay? That's when that remedy comes in. So don't just be at the time, oh, we got 1 minute left. Okay, let's go. Or, oh, it's 30 seconds. Even worse, if you haven't been doing your job, then it gets really uncomfortable to enforce those kind of penalties on people. Yes, it should be. And that's one of the great things about having match officials, is that it's one other thing that you get to offload in terms of your responsibilities as umpires. Like I tell them, when they have a tech table, they have match officials, I say, great, now you get to worry about everything that happens inside the big white box. Everything that happens outside that is not your responsibility. How people are behaving on the bench, whether a corner flag has fallen down, which, who cares? If there's a photographer in the way, if there's all these kind of things, if the coaches aren't where they need to be, if the teams aren't subbing, or if the teams aren't, it's not that they're not subbing properly, but if they're throwing bibs and they're landing on the pitch, that gets to be the match official's job. to do all that sort of thing. And that's why it's so empowering, because now that frees up a whole bunch of your cognitive energy and your attention to the stuff that nobody else can deal with inside the big white box. So absolutely love it. Absolutely. It's all about setting expectations beforehand and being communicative. If you have a team that is like barely got their crap together before the game starts, maybe they're going to have a problem at halftime. Maybe there's a team who is low in the standings. They've had a bad run of form, as it were, and they're coming up against a top team in the table, and it might be to their benefit to not play as many minutes of the match. I would do this. I would try to pull these tricks all the time if I could. I'm just never in the position of being, not in league play. High performance, I was always losing, but league play, always near the top. But if I wanted to try to preserve a lead and things like that, these are the kind of tricks that I would play and see if I could get away with them. In my older days. Or my younger days, I guess. In my older days, I'm a lot more. Was it Netherlands, Belgium? I don't know. Like, let's just engage in pure conjecture. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure that an American umpire was on the game. Amy or Maggie, whatever. And that's not soon enough. If that's outdoor, it's not soon enough. The pitch is too big. The players like wander too much. There's too many not that one. That one. There's too many cats to herd. 30 seconds isn't enough. You want to start that. 30 seconds is when you're going out onto the pitch and dragging them out there with you. Let's go, everybody. Come on. Let's go play. Oh, hey. There you go. You got fines. Hey, like, fines are a great technique. Huh. Duly noted. When you were a match official, you'd give 30-second warning of the end of the quarter or half break. Team not ready, the umpires would blow the whistle to start. The center pass team wasn't there, wait a few seconds, blow time wasting. So, okay, if this is accepted in your area as general practice or encoded in your regulations, do it. Not a fan. Never had a team late that you've coached to use a countdown clock system. The team is ready to go before the match. Absolutely. And in my coaching experience, if I can't get out my messages to my team in the time allotted, I'm a shit coach. Oops. I'm a poor coach. So I don't have a lot of time for that. Some sort of banter about we're all getting cold, let's get going. That's another way, right? Just keep the contact with the teams. I think when I see matches late to resume, it's often because the umpires are having their own discussions. And they might be scintillating. They might be about something that happened at the Oscars when somebody insulted somebody's wife. It might be about what the teas are going to be. It might be what the cost of petrol is. We can't be distracted. It's not our time off. We never get time off, ever. Sorry, end of story. We are always on. If the match is in progress, we are on duty and we have to be paying attention. And our conversation in the breaks, as much as we can, should stick to what we can be doing proactively next. And that has to be our first priority. Because we get distracted. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's only 30 seconds left. My sticky app is telling me that we should go. And then it's not enough time to get everybody assembled. There you go. If you have an ulterior motive, Stephen Denman, for not wanting to be on time, that's different. South Korea, Belgium at the World Cup in The Hague in 2014. Belgium got to the for the second half. Yep. There you go. Oh, there we go. There's one example. There's been a few. Yeah, right? That's what I'm just saying, as somebody who plays in the cold all the time, I'm like, halftime? Let's go. Let's wrap this stuff up. 2 minutes. We take our water. We realign our structure. Boom. We're back out there again. None of that nonsense. Yeah, but they can only remember a few points, Scotters. You're absolutely correct. Can you apply the time wasting rule for not game time but pitch allocated time if there's a tight schedule? It depends, Andrew. So in our league, in indoor, for example, we have very strict hour blocks for our matches, and there might be 2 minutes left on the clock, and if the game time isn't ready but the hour is about to, Big Ben's gonna sound its bells, well, the game ends, right? So it's really important in those situations, because I know that you can manipulate that at the right time. If you don't have umpires and technical officials who are on top of things, you can buy yourself a shorter half or a shorter quarter in order to help out your cause. That should be considered time wasting, and it should be dealt with, because you're doing it to disadvantage the other team. You know what? I think we can. I think we can, because there's nothing that says that we can't. What we can't do is blow a free hit for something when the game hasn't started, because there's no, like, the match isn't there, but misconduct is definitely there. Oh boy. Straight off the bus and 11 on the pitch as soon as they showed up when a team turned up 10 minutes late. That sounds really... It's hard with transport, though. Oh my God, I know. I don't want to talk about it. Cold, not so much an issue. Rain is worse. Well, there's that. There's that as well. Okay. So I think what I just want to reinforce is the need for proactivity. Okay. Find ways to not be that umpire, right? Find ways to be the umpire who keeps in contact with the teams. Oh my God, this rain. Let's just get back out there, friends. Are you guys happy to start? Like, let's go. And really use your powers of persuasion, your charisma, your presence, your proactivity, your early whistles to get the teams out. And if they go back somewhere to shelter, and you don't have match officials, it's your job to go get them. Go get them. And that, John, is a area-specific regulation, okay? So I just want to make sure, John, that everybody understands that, because we have people from all over the world here. And in my area, we have no minimums. It doesn't matter. As long as you're there, as long as there's one player, you could play 11v1, and wouldn't that be fun? Nobody likes the bully. Nobody likes a bully. Okay. Thank you very much for that. It was interesting to hear how many of you start games without the other team there. The reason that it's written into the before I go into the next one. Okay. And by the way, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to blow a final whistle. I'm going to blow a final whistle and give it 30 seconds after the final whistle. And that's when you have to get your last comments in from that topic before I move on to the next one, because I want to try to make things cleaner. Anyway, so tweet, final whistle, get your last comments in. The FIH wrote it into the regulations specifically because it's such a harsh move. We couldn't just, do it as matter of practice at that level, because it is really disadvantageous in that moment. So they do it because of broadcast considerations. If you don't have those considerations, try not to be that person. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's really, yeah, sprinklers. Sprinklers can cause issues and delays, and that's very different. Andrew, is there a green card if we waste time with comments after the whistle? Well, sure. It could be. But why is anybody talking to you when you don't need them to? Not enough time warning for comments before the whistle. Slow typers need you to be more proactive. No, okay, I gave you a 30-second warning, which is actually a minute. Would you stop like ruining my cheese, my steez, my jam, my vibe? Hi, Shane. Shane's here. We can start. Is it 7 a.m. for you right now? 14, maybe it's 8 a.m. I don't know. Okay. Next topic. Goalkeeper time-wasting suspensions. Evison is here. And yes, he left this comment on YouTube, and this, friends, is what we do. If you have a question arising from a video, it could be a video I put out 3 years ago. You put a comment on there, I will get a little alert. I will get an email, which is very serious, reminding me or letting me know that somebody has a question, and I will say I can either answer this quickly, or I could bring it out for everybody so we can have a fulsome discussion. And I thought this really dovetails nicely into whatever the discussion that we just had, because a lot has to do with, again, proactivity, but then we can start talking about goalkeepers and things like that. What? I don't know. Somebody else tell me what happens. I can put you on a timeout, or the moderators can put you on a timeout in the comments. There you go. How's that for punishment? I would not do that. There you go. So Everson's question went like this. I need to card the keeper for playing the ball repeatedly after the whistle to delay the restart and to help the team get a breather. Okay, so what Everson's got is a situation, I'm gathering, that the goalkeeper is basically just futzing around with the ball and he's preventing the other team from restarting play, maybe with a free hit, or maybe getting their penalty corner set, or a 23-meter restart, because his team's exhausted because they're under pressure. What do the rules state? And please talk me through, bearing in mind I've already warned the captain about delaying play resumption. Okay, so Everson's talked about already doing the right thing, which is doing something proactive and talking to the captain. I really, really like that. That's fantastic. Oh, look. That was a different Andrew. That was confusing. Huh. There you go. It's 7:50. So good to see all the Kiwis just rolling out of bed. That's what time I get up anyway. Yeah, I do need a match official. I need a lot of help, generally, is what I'm saying. So back to this. Okay. Everson, if you've taken the proactive steps of talking to the captain, of before the goalkeeper even gets to start messing about, you're double tweeting, hey, no, leave that ball, and let's, for the other team, then you are in a position of needing to card them. Now, and I know this is a little bit, basic for a lot of you, but if you need to suspend a goalkeeper, that personal penalty is served by the goalkeeper. It is not served by anybody else. And especially if it's that particular goalkeeper is the one who's doing the delaying. If it was like a team effort, then maybe you could card the captain for failing to discharge their responsibilities. and get things going. So, or if, you know, there was another player sort of involved in that, you might have a little bit of an out that way. But otherwise, if it's the goalkeeper who's doing the messing about, then you're going to want to deal with them. And we'll talk about how that looks. So for Scott, it suggests if it's repeated or you've already talked to the captain, it's more than one player. It depends, right? So I might, if the goalkeeper is messing about, I might turn to the captain and say, do you want me to send him off? Like, is that what you want? Because I don't want to do that. Do you want me to do that? And that is a way. It is a way to compel that kind of behavior, especially if you don't have, like, I think it's a little easier to talk to a goalkeeper though, because you're usually pretty close to them. Or not usually, but whenever the play's in the circle, they're like right next to you. You should be best friends by the time you're about 10 minutes into the game. If you haven't touched base with the goalkeeper and done some kind of rapport building by 10, 15 minutes into the game, come on, let's go. We're working on relationships, people. So yeah, I mean, think about that, but I mean, we need to take Everson's description, you know, as it is, that he feels that it's the goalkeeper who's truly responsible here. We can invent all kinds of different ways it looks in our head, but let's stick to that. Unless Everson, he's here, so he could tell us differently. Goalkeepers often make great umpires, but are generally a pain on the pitch. They think they're a special case and get more latitude. They are special. They require a different set of techniques to manage them, but you have so many opportunities. That's what I love about working with goalkeepers, is that I have those chances. And because they are, I don't want to say left behind when the play turns over, but you know, they don't have anywhere to go. They're not trying to run into space or cover anything off. So you might have a second where they're relatively close to you and everybody else isn't, and you can be like, whoa, that was a nice save. Well done, you. It's not like the one you let in last week, eh? You know, whatever banter you want to have. You can have banter, you can have little comments. You can have the side thing, hey, the next time that I award a free hit and the ball's near you, you do not touch it. That is not your job. Okay? Leave the ball. And you can talk to them like that individually, keeping in mind that when you have personal conversations like that, you can't expect everybody on the pitch to know that you've done it. Maybe your colleague will if they're on a radio, but maybe not. Yeah, that is tricky, but that's one part of our skills, Scott. So trying to find out where the captain is on the pitch is one of those sort of mental exercises that you can add to your repertoire. I can't remember who I was talking to recently, but they were asking me, you know, I feel like my mind wanders in the game and I'm not doing enough to keep myself in it. And I said, okay, well, here are some challenges for you. Do you know where the captain is all the time? Do you know where the top three forwards are and what kind of space they're trying to build for each other? And can you predict, you know, where the ball's going to go based on their movements? And so I'm giving I'm giving exercises for an umpire to do that will actually assist them with making better calls in the game, because they're noticing things that are going to help them read, that are going to help them communicate, make them help them understand where the emotional center is of anything going on in the pitch. And if the captain is disengaged because they're way back on left back and something's happening way up on the right wing for that team, how do you get that sorted? How do you get the captain involved where, well, they're off your right shoulder instead of being, you know, up in the center of the action, and maybe you're going to handle things differently because of that, and you're going to ask different things of that captain. Okay? So that's a really good point, Scott, and it's just something that you can add to your toolbox as a you know, A mental trigger, a focus exercise. Stefan, you remember one game the umpire asked the captain if he wanted them to send players off for wasting? The captain said, yes, that would be great. Awesome. You've got buy-in. That's hilarious. Steven's offended. He's not offended. Okay. And when the captain is the goalkeeper, which is Barry's question that we're going to come back to. Right. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? You know how I feel about this one, Barry. Oh, do I have to... I'm starring another one of your comments. Okay, let's pin it. It's starred. We're going to come back to it. Don't let me forget, everybody, okay? Yes. The great save keeper comment works. Absolutely. And they can help with selling PCs where defenders just want to moan. Yep. Get them onside for sure. Okay? So, back to Evis's question. Specifically... It is really important to realize that this penalty that you're going to be giving to the team, or this personal penalty, goes personally to the goalkeeper. And Evison, this is what happens at the top levels when there are two kitted goalkeepers. So this happened in the Commonwealth Games, and the goalkeeper came sprinting out and played outside their defending 23-meter area. Okay, that is, especially in this circumstance, breakdown foul, high impact on the play, and so the yellow card, absolutely, no question, had to go. And I believe it was a 10-minute yellow card because it had such an impact on the game. Paul couldn't give anything more than a free hit on that play because it happened outside the 23. Excuse me for a second. Whew. Disaster averted. So that goalkeeper has to serve the penalty. In this case, they had another kitted goalkeeper who could come on the pitch and take that position. The team then has to elect one of their players to come off, so that they are now they are playing one player fewer on the pitch. Okay? Most of us don't have this kind of luxury, and we don't have matches where there are two kitted goalkeepers present. So, what we're looking at is, first of all, absolutely that player has to go. If you have deemed, Evison, that the goalkeeper is the one who's responsible and you want to hold them responsible for that misconduct, then that goalkeeper is going to go off. Most jurisdictions operate under the set of regulations or the common convention that the match will not be held up, will not be delayed in restarting, so that another player can put on that goalkeeping equipment. Now, if that card is a 10-minute yellow card, you might have a player who's able to whip on that goalkeeping equipment within 2 minutes, in which case you're going to need to stop time and then allow for that substitution of a fully kitted goalkeeper to occur for one of the other players on the pitch. And then they are playing with, instead of 10 field players, they'll play with 9 field players and a goalkeeper after that substitution has occurred in stopped time. So if that can happen quickly, great. But you are under no requirement to hold up the game so that another player has to be, so another player can kit up, unless your local regulations require otherwise. Okay. Let's see. I bet he may have been surprised, Godders, but Paul Walker looked perfectly composed in that moment. Like, and the demonstration of how he just, like, let's just show this again because it's so good. Watch the card is up high, and then he says it's out here, it's in front. He does this whole thing. It's gorgeous. The charades are chef's kiss. So good. You've been carded as the goalkeeper captain, which is even worse because your old man got carded because he wasn't like some of the calls. Well. A2, Brute. Brutus? I shouldn't have tried to say that. Does the goalkeeper captain have to wear an XXL armband? I don't know. Probably. No, the armband has to be industry and military grade elastic and Velcro on it. According to the rules, you have the time at the moment the goalkeeper wants to come in, but would you normally wait for a normal break in the game? I think what you're saying is, according to the rules, you have to stop time for the goalkeeper to come in. No, you have to, you wait. You don't interrupt play. You wait for the next stoppage of a free hit, a sideline ball, any other of those except a penalty corner, because you can't substitute on a penalty corner. You could on a penalty stroke though. Okay. So just getting back to Barry's question. Okay, so first of all, if the captain is a goalkeeper, I have said this a couple hundred times on this broadcast. If you as a team have not figured out that that is a dumb ass idea, I want you to go get your head checked, because it is. It is. And we talked about this a lot in the server last week, and I gave Hamish, he's probably not here anymore, but I gave Hamish a super hard time. Not because of him, but because it was a situation he had just been exposed to. And he was asking his friend why they had their goalkeeper as a captain, things like that. And I'm like, why are they being dumb? It doesn't matter who wears the band, okay? You could have a committee of 5 captains. Don't put the band on the goalkeeper. Put it on somebody else. I used to all the time. I was on my rec teams. I was the captain because I was the oldest, slowest, and the angriest. So I was the one who was best able to keep everybody in line. Plus, I knew all the rules. Plus, if I got carded because everybody else were being dumbasses, it didn't hurt the team that much because I wasn't very good. I'm just saying. And I happily took on that responsibility. Being the captain doesn't have to be this big honor that you're the best player on the team. The best player on the team is the best player on the team. The one who either scores all the goals or makes all the plays or whatever. So if the captain is the goalkeeper and they put the band on that person and they haven't named somebody else and said that actually is the captain. I mean, you know that our spirit animal is our goalkeeper, but our actual captain is this person, and they have the band on, even if you don't have bands. If they haven't done that, then you have to send the goalkeeper. You have to. So Barry is talking about on Saturday, you were being accused of bias by the goalkeeper captain. Please, everybody tell Barry what I would advocate as a penalty in that situation. Evison, this is not common practice anymore. This was a brief flirtation in the regulations that started in, I remember hearing about it in around 2014 and that sort of thing. And some regions haven't seemed to shake this. So he's talking about not stopping time for green cards. Time should always be stopped. If your regulations say otherwise, they're dumb. Talk to smart people and get that changed. Even if it stops for 15 seconds, it's important for consistency. Problems happen when you don't stop time, like players don't know they're being carded. It's kind of important. Or something happens in the play that you can't stop because as an umpire, you're busy throwing the card up and making sure that you've got eye contact with that player, that they understand that they have to go, and then suddenly everything else is happening. You're like, no, you can't resume play. Even though I haven't stopped time. This is basic logic, people. Evison, this is not about you. I feel a certain way about not stopping time. And the way I feel is it's dumb. Time should be stopped for all cards. End of poop. Period. Okay? That's it. And this is why, right? So if you weren't being consistent about stopping time for green cards, and then you have to green card a goalkeeper, well, now you have to stop time, because in order to safely ensure that everything happens and the right number of players are on the pitch and all this kind of thing, you really do need to stop time. So, stop time all the time. Every time, 100% of the time. All the time. All the time. Oh, like this is just, Scott, you were describing what I just think is the most insane situation. A goalkeeper who's a captain and also an umpire. And he's not very cool. I'm trying to swear a little less or use unsavory language a little less. Okay. Oh, I have new comments. Yeah, absolutely. Like who... It doesn't matter. And this is what I was yelling at Hamish for. They were like, oh, well, they have like 4 captains. Well, then don't put the ban on the keeper. It's easy. So for Barry Hainsworth's situation, Simon, red card. Yes, Ryan Griffiths. It is the same as accusing the umpire of cheating. For him, a red. But if you can card the captain can be exchanged by any player. The band has to, by rule, Taco, go to another player for the duration of the suspension, and then the band is returned to the captain. That's how that works. So if they start the game with the band on one player, and maybe that player is the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper gets carded off as the captain, yes, the band gets handed off to somebody else, and then it gets returned to the goalkeeper. Because you made a life choice and now you have to stick with it. Learn your lesson, people. Learn your lesson. I should have hit my rant of the week button at some point. So that might be what Taco was intending to say. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm really nice. Look how nice I am. The captain does have to go off and nominate a replacement. They hand the band off. Yep. Bye, John. Great to have you. No, because that's a great question. And unless Godders, who has more match official experience than I do, I have a little bit, but not very much. But working with match officials and working at FH levels in particular, no, the band does not have to be on the pitch because you can card players on the bench, right? So you have that option available. It's if the captain cannot participate in the game, and the reason that they can't wear the band when they're suspended is because they can't participate in the game. They can't talk to people. They can't yell. They can't yell at the umpires. They can't yell at their teammates. They can't yell at their bench. They can't yell at their coach. They can't yell to spectators. They are not participating. They are sitting in a little box of shame, thinking about what they did or what their team did. So that's why the band has to be exchanged to that point. You want to avoid any of those awkward moments when it's like, well, we really needed a captain to do something here, but they're not allowed to because they're sitting over there for 5 minutes. When the goalkeepers return from the card, do you stop time? Yes, you stop time. I know it's not necessarily a substitution, but in order for them to return to play, you don't want them just running around to the end line, down the sideline to the end line, and then waiting for you to stop, to indicate they can come on, right? When goalkeepers are leaving the pitch at levels of play where things are appropriately controlled by match officials, when they're leaving and we want to restart the game because that player is returning to the bench, they've pulled the goalkeeper in order to have an extra player on the field. That's a bit of a different story. But when they are returning to play, it's really important because you need to make sure you have the right number of players on the pitch. that stuff can get a little mixed up. It's not what you're doing every day. So take your time with it. Speaking of taking my time with it, it's 1:14. I thought this was going to be quick. You're welcome. But this is a conversation you have to have, Evison, in your community. Is here's the logic. Why do we do this? Nobody else in the world is doing this. Because they're not, Evison. I think it's really important for us to mimic as much as we can what happens at the top levels. Because there's a reason for it. There's a logic for it. So as long as that logic doesn't break down because those circumstances don't exist, why do we not pattern ourselves on best practices? And I can tell you that best practice, well, it's there. That's generous of you. And I wouldn't agree with it. Nothing gets under my skin. Swearing, that doesn't get under my skin. Being called a cheat, that's it. Because that is an assault on an umpire's integrity. And the very purpose why you were there, which is to do the best job you can. And not intentionally make calls for or against a team. The one she nominated went to the bench where she could still speak. Wait. I called her to captain. She was on the bench at the time. So I got her to go to the chair and nominate someone else to go off for 5 minutes. Yes, that is correct. Sorry, I had to read it twice. That's the right procedure, Scott. The one she nominated went to the bench where she could still speak. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But the captain, the personal penalty serving human can't. Hi, Jack. Are you new? Welcome. If the player card is in the sin bin and they're continuing descent, would this result in another card? It depends. It depends on what you've got going. If they're sitting on a green, you could upgrade that to a yellow. If they're sitting on a yellow, you could extend that yellow. So that's how you would handle that. Although the person who came off the pitch could immediately sub back on for a different player. Yes, they could sub. Yes. Just as long as you got the right number of players. Yeah. Okay. Evison, I hope that helped. Did we button that down for you? I hope so. I love having the question person like live. There you go. Hi, Jack. Where are you from? Come to the server. Have you come to the server yet? There's a server. We have a Discord server and it's really fun. I'm there all day, every day, 24/7, every day. Yes. The delay happens, says Evison, around the goalpost. The goalkeeper pushes the ball away from an attacker, rushing to restart a 23 meters. It's 25 yards. It used to be. It's now 23 meters. It's okay. It's okay. Just, I get triggered. Card comes out. Can you also award a PC? No. You could, but it wouldn't be good umpiring because you have another tool available. And did the delay of the taking of the 23-meter restart merit an opportunity of the scale of a penalty corner to be awarded? That, sir, is my question to you. I think nay, friend. I think nay. So you want to keep those remedies for the occasions that merit them, because you really are trying to redress wrongs that are committed by the fouling team. Oh, the ball went off your foot in the circle and you didn't play it with your stick well, here's a scoring opportunity that now pits 5 against 7, 8, 9, maybe probably 7 in a set play situation that at the outset is numerically advantaged and has a certain set of rules as to when they can shoot and where they can shoot from and all this kind of stuff. And so they get an opportunity that is of that same level of the opportunity that was taken away. So I really don't like when one player does something misconducty. It should be a card. It should be a card. This happened in the Europeans. Oh, if I had known this was... Oh, I should have pulled that clip. Oh, I failed you all. I failed you all. Euros. Dutch. Germany? And the goalkeeper got carded for just that. Just that. There you go. You're welcome, sir. It's always nice to have you around. There you go. UK South Lincolnshire. Okay, got it. This happened in the year. Yope, we're like mental twins today. Black got carded and a PC for time wasting. Yeah, the PC didn't go over well. This wasn't Yes, keep the team and personal penalty separate where you can. When it should be kept separate, not always. It's I mean, that's kind of part of it, Godders, that it is kind of a double jeopardy to award a penalty corner against a team that's just lost their goalkeeper on a card. But it's more so that I don't think it's... Hang on. No, okay. I'm good. I'm good. I was starting to get myself wrapped up in the must award a team penalty with a personal penalty, but misconduct is outside of that, because what the FIH doesn't want are for people to award cards for breakdown fouls. So an action penalty within the 23 meter without giving the upgrade. See how my mind just all of a sudden clicks into something and then I'm like, wait a minute, am I wrong? I do think about these things. So Scott, going back to this, because this tripped me. This absolutely set me off. It's not that you always keep them, the team and the personal penalty separate. Often you do not. But in this kind of case where it's a... You know, like you would never give a PC for dissent, right? Never. Like, that's awful. It's not quite as dramatically different or bad, but it's pretty similar the other way. He made the Discord!
How you like that?
You see, I ask and I receive. This is how it works. Could everybody please... now give me $1 million. Yep, there we go. I just had to work through that in my mind. And I am going to continue to think about this because I've got a concern now. I've got a worm of concern back here. Okay, let's go on to our last, because I've got 7 minutes before I talk to Rob Titcat. This one won't take long though. Is the handle legal? Thank you. I appreciate. Ask and things will happen. So this came through to me on in Instagram DMs, where I've expressly said in my bio, please don't DM me questions. I couldn't help it. Lisa Marie, I'm like, you're cool, no worries. I'll get you this one time. One time. You get an exception. Because the reason is that I want to make sure that everybody benefits from the answer that I can give that one person. So if I just have a private conversation with one person, it's not that I'm wasting my breath, but boy, imagine how many other people can benefit. Like when I bring it onto a live stream and we all talk about it together. So there you go. Good one. So the question is the handle legal? Here was the description, and it's not completely clear from the description as to what area of the handle is being used. The handle of one stick is completely legal. Correct. There's no back stick to your handle. Why I ask is I watched the Dutch documentary, I hope I said that remotely correctly, and they were practicing stick stopping and slipping the ball by using their handle. She doesn't say which part of the handle that was used in this particular documentary, but the answer to this question is the entire handle is not necessarily legal. There is apparently a backside to this, which is kind of crazy, but because I actually didn't know the answer to this question, I consulted with Margaret Hannibal of the Rules Committee to make sure that I wasn't about to make a hot mess of this whole situation. So let me make this a little bit bigger so we can all see it. Oh dear. Bav, correct. It is legal as long as it's the part of the handle that extends from the front side of the stick. Tweet! End of last topic. 30-second grace period is now in effect. Damn it. I have to make a graphic thing. It will happen. Godders, I gotta say, I like you. And we are gonna get into the rules or not, and they don't say what the front and the back. No, the rules do say what the back and the front of the stick are. And what the stick specifications go into are a little bit of a roundabout way of saying it. But let me pull up my notes because it's hard to describe. Okay, so between 2.3A, okay, which is right here, the stick is positioned, blah, blah, blah. The line Y passes through the center of the top of the handle. The handle of the stick starts at line C, so that designates what the handle is. And then with 2.6, the playing side is the entire side shown in figures 3 and 4 and the edges of that side. Okay, where's the happy diagram? There it is. Okay, so it's designating that the flat side of the stick is this whole bad boy right here. What you're seeing in front, the y-axis doesn't really help us with anything, but cheers, thanks for that. But you have the front side going all the way up to the handle. And if I covered this last year, what I love, Stefan, is that I didn't assume what the answer was. I made sure I double checked, because sometimes it's worth revisiting. This is how urban myths start. This is how community misconceptions start. If you don't challenge yourself, you're not learning. And yes, 2.6 says the entire length. Front 180 degrees, yes, all good. Can you snooker shot the ball with the top coin side of the stick? The stick specification, I believe, is ambiguous on that. You guys tell me. I have 2 minutes. What about the top of the stick? Cheeky. Look, it's the umpire's job to set their stall and to let you know what is legal and what is not. And then you've got 9.5. Absolutely. Ah. But circles don't have edges. That would be the argument, Mike, that I would give to say that it's permitted. And if you think you can do that, awesome. Rob 10 Cat is calling me right now. He's early by 2 minutes. I don't think he remembers that I'm live. It's okay. The edges of the playing side are okay unless forehand. The rule says players must use the back of the stick, which isn't defined. So technically, I think yes. I mean, it is defined. It just isn't defined in regards to the top of that. So I would say yes. It's very rare. It is rare because it's a really low percentage play. Oh, Scott, do circles have an infinite amount of edges? Oh, that's harsh. That is very harsh. I don't even want to think about that. Okay, but that was my last question. And I have prep to do. Oh my God, my life right now. Again, congratulations to Simon, Sam, and Mike. And thank you, Taco, for rosés. You could buy me one right now if you wanted. It's right there. Don't forget to join the Discord. Don't forget that we also have this really amazing community of people. You heard it from Hamish, and you can talk to other people as to whether this is a fun experience for them. I would have loved to have a group that I could rely on, like yellow and green members rely on each other in our server. So come say hi, come join us, and we will see you next time on What Up Wednesday. There is the link. Thank you very much, Dina Taylor. And all slightly short, barely, 131. All right. We'll see you again very soon, gang. Thank you so much, and happy hockey.